Now, moving on, food and vegetable farmers in the country who have been dealt a blow by the COVID-19 are concerned that their businesses would not flourish. Now, HortiFresh, which supports commercial food and vegetable sector development in West Africa, is currently conducting an impact assessment of the virus pandemic on the sector. It is hopeful to roll out a support program for those badly hit. We'll speak to the program's manager of HortiFresh in a moment. First, though, this report by Prince Apia on the impact of COVID-19 on the vegetable business.
Media lettuce, spring onion, cabbage.
Meet Aboagye-Wiafe, a vegetable farmer at Jinyase, a suburb of Kumasi. He has been farming a portion of this 28-acre vegetable farm for the past 12 years. But he says this year is his worst.
Because of COVID-19, I buy anything. I'm affected by the past. I can't be at 2% wise and one, best is 60% affected. Affected, or can say, the same as I said, Nanka, first, Nanka, Thomas schools, restaurants, hotels, and even a year for party for. They say, Nina, and across the down, but my case will be an Yaduma. The bus and I only do an idea, Stella and you do a band. And I said, my dear best 100 best. I was thinking I get 2 covers a week, you know. Some customer banner just would delay be a best 3 days and now 4 days, and some was I baby. As I say, I'm only once I'm not back, you know. Now I'm out of the one I say.
He and 28 other farmers who cultivate this land are unable to sell their produce because suppliers are reluctant to buy. Their main clients, schools, restaurants and hotels, are not operating due to COVID-19 restrictions.
Essence, young Tonintino, Untimin 300 price, and I want to mean Chelsea on the Veggie. I didn't do any more. No more than you do an answer for our uncle into Sequino out of one bar. No one ever going to sit beyond one task and Manuja or Uber to. Cecilia, I mean, can I say, I made the Michigan who is example. And can be a time and I didn't mind, and can be a bit more on the base of 30 cities. But they say, I did 10 cities who can be more than I do. Because 5 cities, more crana, just a Bobacrana, say you crana. This is to.
This is a typical example of the impact of the COVID-19 on the vegetable production here in the country. This lettuce bed, we are told, has gone beyond its harvesting time, long overdue, which means in a matter of 3 days, if it is not harvested, will get spoiled because the leaves have begun folding towards each other, which the traders do not like. This means that all the investments made in this particular farm and others similar are going to go to waste.
Normally, need 2 acres in Inano. Come Bongo Cabas 500 cities here. At the end of month, no. Kamenya crossing committee base 2,000. But the sea idea, Oboka base 600 krana, we are even 1,000 krana in Sobina. This is a would be more one as I say.
The buyers attribute this to low patronage of vegetables on the market.
Masai to be at the market.
Gifty Chayeboa is a buyer.
You are running my energy. Naka wait me to do. If I am my family, be a meeting me to be a menya be a bear then menya be a bear 30 Ghana 3 million and 20 basis another qua. What me at talk around be 800 and now 1 million and I bet him at he said.
April to June is the peak period for vegetable producers. Hotels and restaurants used to purchase the bulk of their supplies. Ifwa Jimfwa, CEO of Royal Lameta Hotel, for instance, used to spend about 50,000 on vegetables around this time.
Sometimes you can have a week-long program, and if you have a week-long program and you have a full house, then of course going to buy so many groceries. In a month, we buy over vegetables and provisions for the hotel. It hovers around 50,000 a month, or more than that.
The woes of the farmers has been compounded with the increase in prices of vegetable seeds to almost 100%, because most of them are imported. Closure of the borders plays a major role. The vegetable industry is now struggling and on the verge of collapse. But if restrictions are more relaxed on the hospitality industry, events and schools, the situation could improve to address wastage in the system. Prince Apia reporting.
And we're getting an idea of just how much COVID-19 has affected the vegetable markets. Joining us to discuss this is Sheila Esibe-Yeboah, who is the program manager at HortiFresh. Glad you could join us this afternoon. I don't know if you saw bits of that report, but certainly COVID-19 having an impact on the domestic market. What are you hearing from the ground?
All right, thank you very much, and good afternoon to all your listeners. Certainly, COVID has affected all of us. We had to make amends in the way we do things. And, you know, the intensity, the level of impact and incidence wasn't known. So we've all been taken by surprise. And, you know, the vegetable sector is huge, largely informal. We are talking about the domestic market. It's largely informal, with the exception of some high-end markets. I saw your report on the hotels and some of the supermarket chains where they're able to structure their supply chains and keep them a bit formal. But a lot of our assessment is based on the experiences of these sector actors. And you know that very little data is available. So we don't have scientific evidence, but then bits and pieces from the sector. So a lot of learning has gone into the sector during this pandemic.
And just on just on the domestic market, but the export market too. Tell me about that experience as well.
Yeah, so the export market is, I would say, significantly impacted because it's not only the production bit, but then also what goes up. If you look at the exports, borders were closed. That affected how goods could move. We've been told by these exporters that their freight has gone up by up to 50%. Volumes had to decrease by about 30%, and this is because of logistical challenges. Thanks to the management of AGPC and Swissport that ensured that there was a dedicated cargo flight to get things moving. Even that, it was just once a week. And so volumes had to be slashed by up to 60%. The highlight, though, which is quite interesting, is the demand increase. We are told demand has gone up by anywhere between 50 to 100%. And this is because of the gap that has been left by the Latin American markets. They were the major, I would say, suppliers of some of these export vegetables that we send. And because of the effect of COVID in those countries, Ghana, or most of the international markets are looking to Africa, and for that matter, Ghana. And so I think it's high time we take advantage of that and try to tap into that market, not only to just meet the demand gap, but then also hopefully sustain those markets.
Okay, and so I'm told that you have conducted or you are conducting an impact assessment, and that will inform what kind of assistance you can give to farmers and others in the value chain. Where are you at with that?
It's still ongoing. It's still ongoing. We are still on it because, like I said, data is not readily available in one piece. So you have to pick it from real sector actors who are getting their fingers burned on a daily basis. So we had many things. If you look at supply was okay. But then in the beginning, because of the perceived, and this is about the domestic market in Ghana, because of the perceived lockdown or pending lockdown, people panicked. There was panic buying. And also, we hear from the transporters that they had a hell of a time on the road. So most of them wouldn't want to go ahead and bring produce and lose out. So most of the produce were left at the farm gates, and then prices also were affected here in some of the urban markets. Whenever that happens, you know that demand goes up because there's a perceived scarcity. and it affects everything. Also, they tell us that I think a lot of people had dwindling cash flows, which is being experienced by most of the job cuts. And so people would not ordinarily purchase in the volumes that they think they would want to have, but then strictly on what they need. And so that also affected the market a bit. Great.
Tell you what, Sheila, when you could conclude your assessment, we would have a conversation again as to your findings and what next in terms of support for the vegetable farmers. Thank you so much for speaking to us on the marketplace.
Thank you.
All right.